Well, good evening, everyone. Good to be in your companies once again. This is your friend, Bishop elect Edlin Scott, and I'm really excited about the opportunity, as always, to share with you this powerful program called Phenomenal Leadership. You can see me on two platforms. I'm on Facebook, I'm on Voice of the Living's page, Edlin Scott's page, and then, of course, I'm on YouTube. I got a YouTube channel called Edlin Scott. Really looking forward to this wrapping up of what has been really a great series talking about how leaders gain influence. How leaders gain influence. Bearing in mind that everyone that leads needs influence. And leadership really boils down to influence. And so everyone has some level of it, but it is important that it increases because every day it's going to determine a little more to get through that day than you had on yesterday. So I want you to reach out to your friends. I want you to like it, love the page, share it, get everybody involved in the conversation as you possibly can, and let's see where God takes us. How leaders gain influence. I'm Bishop Scott. This is Phenomenal Leadership. Good evening to everyone. Well, you pretty much just watched our in-house revival. We started on Monday night, and this is Thursday night. We got one more night of in-house revival that leads up to Sunday. Tomorrow night, Minister Gladstone Brown is going to be the preacher. Tonight it was Minister Alex Hinsey. And so we had an absolutely beautiful week this week in the Word. And they were preaching from various topics. It was really a good time. We really enjoyed the Word of the Lord. Saturday morning at 8 a.m., there is a word from the Lord. I want you to come on, be a part of the service on Saturday morning. It's a virtual service, Morning Glory Saturday. We get started at 8 a.m., and then we let the Lord have his way. In fact, I've got a funeral at 11, so we want to get sharply going at 8 o'clock, and let's hear what the Lord says, and then I get ready, and I go over to that funeral service. Then Sunday morning at 7 a.m. In fact, my morning starts at 6:45. 6:45, I'm at the church. We go in prayer. We present the service before the Lord, and then we go into our morning glory service at 7 o'clock, and we're there until about 8:30, and then that kicks off our Sunday day. So I really want you to come with me, spend some time with me this weekend. Saturday morning, it's a virtual service. Sunday morning, it's an in-person service, and of course, it is virtual. I'm really excited about what God is doing. Sunday, Apostle Wallace is celebrating his pre-birthday service. September 12th is the actual birthday, but being a church man for the many years that he's been a church man, he wants to celebrate his birthday in a church atmosphere. And so on Sunday in our 11 o'clock service, Apostle will be we'll be celebrating him. So we really look forward to that day. The entire day is a day of celebration with Apostle. I am actually speaking the evening service. Sunday night, I'm going to be the one in the chair on Sunday night. So we're looking forward to a really good time in the Lord. And we're asking you to just send your big shout outs, your birthday shout outs to Apostle on Monday the 12th of September, which is his birthday. All right? All right, let's get into what we're going to talk about tonight. We're going to talk about, is there a word from the Lord? There is a word from the Lord. Phenomenal leadership really is so much a part of my life because I believe that God has given it to me to help. There's a massive struggle. There's a massive struggle that people have. And people have this struggle because but there's no vision, the people perish. And I believe leadership really, like John Maxwell says, leadership and everything rises and falls with leadership. So leadership is the solution, and leadership sometimes can be the biggest problem that you would ever have. And so God gave me this some 2 years ago, and it's really been going really great. Thank God so much. And those of you that follow me, really hats off to you. for following as long as you've been following. And if you're just, this is your first time, God's got a word. God's got a blessing for you. Our teachings are designed to help you with your ministry, help you with churches, help you with your groups, help you with business, help you personally help develop your life so that you can be a better leader. And I believe where there is good leadership, there's great prosperity. All right? Now, the topic of the series that I've been doing for the past couple of weeks is called How Leaders Gain Influence. And so what I did was I break up the word influence. I break it up. INFLUENCE. I break it up, and I took the first letter. I took a letter out of influence, the I. Leaders gain influence by having integrity. Leaders gain influence by the N word, by being a nurturer of people. Leaders gain influence by the F, having faith in people, believing in people. Leaders gain influence by listening, the L, listening to people. Leaders gain influence by U, understanding people. And on Tuesday, we talked about the E, which is enlarging people. And, we had a lot of struggle with that broadcast. So if you've not gotten the full broadcast, go to the YouTube page. Go to the YouTube page, and you can watch the entire broadcast. It was really powerful. How do I know as a leader that I'm enlarging people? When you find out who's growing. If people are growing because of being around you, if people are growing because of listening to you, if people are growing because of what you share, then it is really at work. But if you're growing and they're not, that's a problem. That's a problem. See, because leaders are supposed to stretch you. Leaders are supposed to enlarge in you. All right? But when leaders are the only ones growing, then that's a problem. Then people get the impression that I'm taking advantage of. On Tuesday, I posted something on Facebook, and I said, are you being used or you're feeling used? Are you really being utilized for what is in you, your gifting? Are you being utilized? Or is your gifting being used, exploited, taken advantage of to bring growth to somebody else? When leaders are selfish and concerned about themselves, then people are neglected or they're used. As a pastor, do I identify people to help with the church because I want the church better so that my leadership can look good? Or do I identify the gifting in people so that they can become what is on the inside of them? If I identify a musician, am I in that person's life so that I can have music at my church, or I'm in that person's life so that they can become a better musician and better themselves, better their craft, and who knows, they may have a career in music. Help them. Or is it all about my church? You see, so when people feel used, taken advantage of, exploited, when it's all about me. And leaders, it's not about the leaders. See, when a leader only thinks of himself, their leadership is threatened, their leadership is in trouble, and their leadership is dwindling away. But when you invest in people, your leadership is going to live on and on and on. So we talked about the E word, which is enlarging people. So we got 3 more to go. We got the N, the C, and the E. So the N is leaders gain influence by navigating people, by being the navigator. Leaders have the responsibility of helping you to get there. They have the responsibility of helping you to get there. So the leader does not send you off on a course. The leader takes you where you need to go. All right? Now, the navigator doesn't mean that the leader does all the work. No, navigating means the leader locks hand with you and takes you where it is that you need to go. So, the leader is the problem solver. Yes. The leader is the mentor. The mentor. You know, Dr. Paul Christ used to say this, that you discover gold, a gold mine, when you discover your mentor. When you discover your mentor, then you discover the gold mine. Because there are two ways, he says, that you can learn. You can learn, number one, by mentor, or you can learn by mistakes. So you could go to the school of hard knocks if you wanted to. But if you allow a mentor is someone that has been there, that has done that. You can't lead people where you've never been. And so leaders gain influence by becoming navigators in people's life. Leaders see more. Leaders see more than others see. Leaders also see before others see. And so leaders see how to solve the problem. If everybody else sees it or sees the problem before the leaders see the problem, then y'all need to switch places. They need to be in charge, and you need not to be the one that is in front. So a leader must be able to see more and before. A leader must be able to solve the problem. And therefore, you don't want to go on an excursion or on a trip with someone who is learning as they go. You know, you don't know where you are, they don't know where they are. When I'm lost, I want to be able to look. Whenever I have a situation, whenever I have a problem, I can go to my pastor and I can say, Bishop, this is the case, that is the case. And most definitely, he can give me some kind of insight on what to do or what's happening. That's what leader is all about. The navigator has a responsibility of taking you through the rough times of your life. All right? Now, the navigator or the leader must understand the trip is not about them. The trip is not about the navigator or the leader. The trip is about the person. The trip is about the person. Now, let me share something very powerful with you. Watch this. Do you know that a boat or a car can travel faster when it's empty? A boat can travel faster, more economical when it's empty. It is easier for a leader or a navigator to get the job done by themselves than it is with people. It is easier. It is easier. It is easier to do what I want to do. I'll get there quicker if nobody is involved. But that's not the point. The point is not doing it by yourself. The point is helping people out. So the reality is the navigator can get it done faster, quicker, easier by themselves. But it's all about having somebody beside you. See, it's not about getting across the line first, you know. It's about getting someone with you across the line. That's when you are being successful as a leader. So it's not about me. It's not about me. It's about when I listen, when I hear your testimony, when I listen to you at the end of the month, at the end of the next month, at the end of December, as we close out the year, and I hear what the teachings has done for you. It has helped you to navigate through the rough times of your life. Then, hey, I'm encouraged at that. So, it's easy as a navigator to sometimes say, well, listen, I got to tell this one, stay inside. I got to tell this one, don't go left. You got to be involved with so many other things. So sometimes it may feel like it's easy to do it by yourself. And you know something, friends? I used to be so annoyed at dealing with people that sometimes I just run ahead and just go ahead and do it myself. I feel like it's easy to do it myself. But in doing it myself doesn't help anybody. Doing it myself does not help anybody. But it's all about doing it with somebody. And so that's why I'm here. I am here, and my level of teaching will be the same if I got 100 people watching the stream or if I got one person watching the stream. And if I don't see nobody watching the stream, I'm still going to come with the same enthusiasm, the same amount of material, because sooner or later, that person that needs whatever it is, they're going to find it. So, you may be able to do it faster by yourself, but it's not, the trip is not about you. So going there, it don't make sense. Going with somebody makes all the sense in the world. So the navigator is not in front, but the navigator is right beside you. All right? So that's the N. Let's look at the C word, the C letter in influence. The C talks about connecting with people. Connecting with people. You know, I'm going to be a little radical, and I can keep it straight. I'm going to keep it straight. I'm going to be a little radical. All right? You got to be very careful. You have to be very careful that, see, sometimes we feel like we really don't need people. All right? Sometimes you feel like you don't really need people, but you do. You do. Can I tell you? You do. You need people. Because let's say we're in charge. We feel like because I'm in charge, they have to come to me. They have to come to me, right? But connecting with people is not about people coming to you. It's about you coming to people. See, if people come to you, it means that you are the agenda. But if you come to them, it means they are the important one. I mean, did you get it? If everyone has to come to me, right? If everyone has to come to me, okay, you have a situation. So come to me and let me solve it. No. If you have a situation, me coming to you to find you, to solve it, that's really, that's where the power lies. And so connecting with people is where we leave where we are. You know, I teach this in church. I say to them, we've always been taught that the pulpit is where the preacher, the pastor, the priest stands in the pulpit on the desk, and they get their rope, and they throw the rope out in the audience, and they catch the people, whoever's in the pit, and pull them out of the pit. You know, get the rope and you pull them out of the pit. And that's how we thought leadership was all about. Bring them to my office. But leadership is all about you leaving the pulpit, going where people are, because you got to go where people are. Because you could very easily stay in the pulpit and say, hey, y'all move, come out of there. But you're not seeing what I'm facing. See, perspective gives you a totally different idea. Sometimes people will say, oh, that's easy to do. It's easy to deal with your boys. It's easy to deal with your girls until you have some of your own. And then you'll find that it's not easy. Or if I had a business, I'll run it this way, or I'll run it that way, I'll run it the other way, until you have a business. You ever hear people say, you know, if I had $1 million, I'll give it to the Lord until they get the million. Once they get the million, they find a million things to do, and I'll eat up the whole thing, and it never gets to the Lord because It's easy to give what you don't have until you get it. Then you have a different perspective. And so the perspective from where I'm standing may make it look easy. But until I stand where you're standing, then I don't have a true appreciation to what you have to fight through to get done what I need to get done. And so connecting with people, it's all about leaving where you are and standing where they are and seeing what's going on. So connecting with people really speaks about putting their agenda first. Putting their agenda first. That's what it's all about. Putting their agenda first. Connect with people. Find out what's going on. Find out what's happening. And when you're able to connect with people, then things is going to flow a little bit better. All right? So the final one is empowering. That's the E. So you got to be able, I don't care how good your material is, I don't care how good what it is that you do or what you want to share, I don't care how much you know. If you can't work with people, if you cannot work with people, you have a big problem. So empowering people speaks about, I could get it done. I could get it done. But can I help somebody else get the same thing done? And that's what I really like about Dr. Paul Kreitz. He showed me that, hey, you could get this done. He said, start off with a small group. If it's only 3 to 6 people, I just talk to them as often as you can. And I couldn't see the power of that. I don't know whether it's because, all of us always think thousands, 100,000s and millions, or you want that big crowd to talk to. And he said, just start doing that. And as I started doing that, then I started to get stretched. I started to get stretched. And so to increase your influence, you have to be able to empower people. To empower them. Now, empowering people means that you have to have the ability to get the work done through people. Through people. Not you doing it all. Get them to the place where they could get the same job done. And you want to empower them to the place where they can get it done better than you can get it done. Jesus says, greater works than these shall you do. So, what is empowerment? Ask the Scott, what is empowerment? All right? Empowerment, how do I empower somebody? Empower them means you got to be able to see their gift. As a leader, you got to be able to see people's gift. You cannot empower if you're not able to see. So leaders, if you fail to see people's gift, a leader must be able to walk in a room and be able to discern, or someone say read the room, be able to read the room and see what's going on in the room and identify the gifting. A coach can recruit good talent, but a coach also needs to know how to place good talent. Someone can send you a video of someone doing some stuff, but now you got to know where to place them. Because you could place something on the team that disrupts the team or place them in the right place and it complements the team. So, a leader that's going to gain influence has to have the ability to see the potential of a person, all right? Now, it's one thing to see the potential of a person, but it's another thing to see it and then tell them what you see. Tell them what you see. I see this in you. I see you getting this done. And not only do you tell them but you also say empowering things to them. You could tell someone they can do something, but you still got to start up their engine. You got to get the engine started. So whatever it takes to get their engine started, to get them up and going. When Dr. Kreitz talked to me, and you know what ironic thing, when I did the degree, right? I spoke to Dr. Kreitz, and I spoke a lot more with Dr. Angel Kreitz. And Lord, she have this way of making you feel like or believe in yourself. She just has this way of making you feel like, hey, you could get this done. Oh, yes, I see this in you. And to my surprise, I didn't even know they used to watch me, watch some of my presentation. I didn't live out there. I took them around with me every day. So as a leader, you have to connect people with the abilities that they walk around with every day. My assignment in your life is to awaken that part of you that you walk around with every day, that part of you that you don't work every day, that part of you that you don't exercise every day. My assignment in your life is to wake that up. So what is empowerment? Empowerment is to be able to see the potential, talk the potential, and then say empowering things to bring that potential out to the front. Empowering is sharing your power and your influence with them. In order for me to empower you, I got to share some of this with you. I got to let you make the decision. I got to be able to let you make the call. And not only do I allow you to make the call in small settings, people will never understand how to perform on Olympics level if you don't ever give them a Olympics exposure. If you want them to star in the big time, you got to see them in the big time and allow them to go in the big time. And so, empowering people, you got to be able to share that power that you have. Share it with them. How would you do this? How would you get this done? You will be amazed. If King Saul held on to all of that power and did not allow David to conquer Goliath or go to fight against Goliath, he would not have found out that David could have killed Goliath. But he empowered him by gave him permission to go, gave him tools to go work with, sent him with his blessings. To empower somebody, you gotta listen. If I'm gonna get the blame for it, I should be able to make some kind of decision. If you're gonna say, I'm the cause for it, I'm the reason why it didn't work, but I couldn't make a decision. It doesn't make sense to give people responsibility. All that's going to do is increase the influence that they have in your life. See, because it's one thing to say, I have power. It's one thing to say, I can get the job done in the office. But it's another thing to let my mommy know. Tell my mommy, Mother Miller, Scott can get the job done. It's another thing to call my friends. Call my friends in Florida and say, hey, guess what? What y'all doing? Watch Scott tonight on Phenomenal Leadership. Watch his teaching. He has some great teaching. Call my wife and say, Roberta, you have a nice husband. Your husband can teach, and you just go on and you just share that. See, all of that grows influence in the life of a leader. And that's so powerful. That is so powerful. Do you know something? Everybody just don't mind. Or in fact, some people are just waiting to hear their leaders say, you did a good job. You did all right. Pat you on your back. Stand you up in front of the crowd and says, great job. Everybody is waiting to see the leader sitting in their audience and just watching them flow. Now, you may not be able to do it as good as them, but throw all your support behind them in whatever it is that they're doing. And so it really is just so powerful. Put them out there. The friends, family, put them out there to everybody. Let them know what's going on. So, leaders grow influence by having integrity, by being a nurturer, by having faith in people, by listening to people, by understanding people, by enlarging and growing people, by navigating, teaching people how to solve problems, helping them to be able to solve problems, figure out what's wrong, identify something is wrong, make right choices and decisions, connect with people. Got to be able to connect with people. Don't wait for them to find you. You go find them. You go find them. And then finally, it's really all about empowering people. Thank you so much for watching tonight. This has been Phenomenal Leadership. I'm your friend, Bishop-elect Scott. Saturday morning at 8 o'clock. Want you to be in the house with me. 8 o'clock live on Facebook and YouTube. And Sunday morning at 7 a.m. we'll be live again and in in-person service at Voice of the Living Step. Listen, really appreciate all of you. Thank you so much for your prayer. Thank you so much for your support. Remember, leadership is all about influence. John Maxwell said, nothing more, nothing less. Everything rises and falls on leadership. That influence is what's going to help you to become an effective leader. Because if you're leading and nobody's following, you just went for a walk. God bless you and good night.